Hi everyone and welcome to Lunch and Learn. My name is Peter and I am a product manager here at PropertyMe. Joining me today, Christina, welcome.
Hey guys.
What's your role here, Christina?
Onboarding team leader and all round, PropertyMe employee.
Welcome along. So guys, today in this session, it's a little bit different. We're coming to you remotely. I can't believe that it's, what is it, Christina, 5 weeks until end of financial year?
I'm not
We
ready.
say it every single year. So we thought we'd take this opportunity to jump on, do a quick lunch and learn. We've got a special guest joining us today. Nicole from Trusted Figures is going to give us her tips on end of financial year. And that's all things that you guys should be doing now before next month so that you have a seamless and easy end of financial year. But we also know how much you guys love our new features. So I'm going to take you through something that we've got going out in tonight's release. And Christina's going to give us a little exclusive, a little sneak peek to a feature that we've been working on that's almost ready for you guys to test out for us. As always, if you're tuning in from Facebook, YouTube, if you're watching live, or if you're watching the recorded session back, questions, comments, feedback, please pop them down below and we'll do our best to answer every single question throughout the session. I say take advantage of Nicole being here. Any end of financial year questions?
Totally.
Throw them her way. Cool. Anything else from you, Christina, before we start?
Let's get into it.
Awesome. Let's throw to Nicole from Trusted Figures. Hey, Nicole.
Hey, Nicole.
Hey, guys. Thanks for having me. It's great to be here.
Can you believe that it's into financial year time already?
I know. It's coming up quicker than you expect. It does it every year. So
yes. So let's jump straight in. What are your top tips for users for end of financial year?
Yeah, I think the main thing is to prepare. So preparation is absolutely key. And if you do that preparation beforehand, end of financial year is actually, it's only a couple of minutes. It's really not very long at all. So what I'm going to do is give you some tips on how to prepare for that to make sure that it's nice and smooth and really easy for your clients as well. So I'm going to share my screen in a moment, but the first thing I want you guys to make sure that you do check is your adjustments and any unknown funds that you have. So what we like to do is try and clear those out beforehand. So if there's anything at all that you can allocate, get rid of adjustments. I'm not a fan of adjustments anyway, but look, we always have those unknown funds. So do what you can, try and get those allocated wherever possible and allocate those to the owners or tenants, whoever it might be. The second thing I would recommend is that you actually check your contact records. So this is going to have an effect on the reports that go out. So those end of financial year statements have got the contact details of your owners. And so you really want to make sure that they're actually correct and in the right format. So I personally am a bit of an OCD fan when it comes to data entry, and I like everything to be in its right field, but I know sometimes we get a little bit lazy or don't quite put things in the right field. So what I always recommend is that first of all, you have a check of your contact records. Now this is really simple. I'm just going to share my screen and show you what to do here. So if you go over to reports, and if you click on the contact details for the owner, just going to click on the owner. Now what we want to look for is just that the first name and the surname of the owner is correct, but we also want to check those owners that have company names. Now on this report, it doesn't actually at first instance show that company, so we just want to include that in the column settings. So clicking on the hamburgers or whatever you want to call it, the dots, and just go to columns and choose company name. So this will now, over on the right-hand side, show you the company name. So sometimes we find people put people's contact names, their first names, or just not the right information. So you just want to make sure that that company name is actually correct, because that is the owner of the property and that's the relevant information for the end of financial year statement.
It's a good tip.
All right. So that's one thing I want you to do. Also want you to just have a look at emails, because we don't like to print these reports. We want to email them wherever possible. So just making sure that everybody's got that email address in and that their contact prep, the communication setting is also set to email. And that way they'll all go out pretty quickly and easily. All right, so that's your contact. That's the first thing you're going to do. The next thing is we're going to check for withholds, the owner withholds. because if possible, we want to try and release those funds to the owner prior to the 30th of June. And this is where I'm saying do this preparation now, which will make 30th of June really easy. So again, if you go to reports, and if we go to owner disbursements here on the left, and here we can see the owner withholds. So what I'd suggest you do is just review each of those withholds and decide whether you can actually release those funds to the owner or not. Now, in some instances, so this is obviously my test data, so I've got the wonderful Ryan Gosling in there. But if you want to just go into that property, and then if you scroll down to the owner, we can edit the owner. And here we go, we've got the withhold information just here. It's always the first screen that opens up, so it's right there, really easy. And you can see here, I've put a plumbing invoice withhold back on the 1st of April. So there's a really good chance I actually don't need that anymore. So then it's just a matter of just deleting that withhold and saving it. And then we can release those funds to the owner. You may still want some withholds, that's possible, but just wherever possible, try and remove those so we can release those funds and include that on the owner's financial report. Next thing I want you to do is actually review your unpaid bills. So everybody has unpaid bills. So again, reports, unpaid bills. Just have a look at any of those bills. Are any of those, are we going to have enough funds before the 30th of June? Again, this is why we want you to do this now, so that you've got time to have those discussions with your owners to say, do we need to have you put funds into the trust? Do you want to pay the bill directly? What do we want to do to make sure that it's included in this financial year? So here, for instance, I've got a 1s and 2s plumbing, $780. You might want to have a look at that property. Is the rent going to cover that, as well as the letting fee and management fees?
There's no point doing that on the 30th of June.
No, it's way too late. Right, that really is important that you do this now. Have those conversations with those owners now. You might have a look at it and say, no, I'm going to have plenty of rent by then, so it's fine. So you don't need to have that conversation. But if you do, this just gives you the opportunity to do that now and prepare for it.
Good tip.
And then lastly, what we want to do is make sure we disperse all of our owners. So we want to disperse those funds. And this is particularly important if you're going to use the statement format for the end of financial year reports. So if you are, you want to make sure you send out those last owner statements. So just do all your disbursements, any last minute things on the 30th of June, just to include those there. Okay, so I'm going to stop sharing now. That way I can see you guys. So the next thing I want you guys to consider doing is review your message template that goes out with the owner financial statement. Now, I notice some people have been changing the format of the title of that message. So just have a look for the financial statement, do a search on that, and you should find your message template. What I would recommend with those templates is maybe make them a little bit more personal, perhaps remind people about the owner portals, that they can look at these reports later online, as well as their statements and all the other things. But also, you might want to include something like a tax deduction tip or what's going on with the ATO.
Oh, that's a good one.
Something like that.
That's nice.
Right, there's lots of links out there with different things. I mean, they always say the ATO is looking at property. They always are, but, you know, maybe you want to include something there. You might also have something going on within your real estate agency. You've got a promotion going on or something like that. You might want to promote a property or something like that. So you might want to include that into your message template.
That's great.
Right. So yeah, have a review of that now. Get that ready so that it's really is just push the button on the 1st of July or shortly after. The other thing with your templates on your messages is I would actually recommend you set that to auto, not to hold before sending. So especially if you've got a large portfolio of, say, 1,500 properties or something like that, you don't want to sit there and go and send all of those reports. You just want them to go out automatically. There's no need to sort of review them first. So consider just having them auto send.
It saves a bit of time.
It does, yeah. And are you really going to review every single one? Maybe not. The next thing is decide on your report format. So there's two different types of formats within PropertyMe. So you've got your transactions versus your statements. So just decide which one you want to do beforehand. Have a look at the different options. They obviously have pros and cons for each. You know, generally, personally, I prefer the statement format just because we find accountants like to match it to what the owners actually physically received in their bank account. And some people prefer the transaction format. Either's really fine. Just decide which one you want to do just to make that day, that end of financial year process really quick and easy.
It sounds like the common thing is data cleanse. Make sure your data's in there, all clean, good to go.
Yeah, absolutely. I love a nice clean database. So if you've got all of this prepared, it actually also makes it easier for next year as well, because chances are you're only actually reviewing those new owners that you've brought onto your portfolio since last financial year. Sure. And then it's really just a matter of deciding what day you're going to send your report. Are you going to send it perhaps on the 1st of July, which is a Friday, or are you going to send it the following week? Generally, we send our clients on the 1st or the 2nd business day. Some people like to send it about a week later. It's really up to you. Doesn't matter, but it's super easy. So provided you do your preparation, we find that this takes us anywhere between 2 to 10 minutes, depending on the size of your portfolio. It really is that easy.
Yeah. And with 5 weeks to go, just set a little bit of time each week, maybe 10, 15, even 20 minutes a week.
Yeah.
All you should
Even
need.
break it up between the property managers, everybody do their own. So you're only doing a smaller portfolio, not doing the whole database. Yeah, 10, 20 minutes a week. That's a good idea, Pete.
Cool.
Yep.
Nice. Well, thank you so much, Nicole. If anyone has any end of financial year questions, please pop them down below. As I said earlier,
take a couple of questions.
Oh, have they come through?
Okay.
Oh, and whoa. Nicole, you got a nice shout out from Nina Sutton. Nicole is amazing.
Oh, hey,
Nina. Michael Anthony has asked, what about when a tenant is paid 1 year in advance? Would you release this all to the owner on end of financial year? And he's just mentioned that he withholds for reasons for bills and in case the tenant moves out.
Yeah, look, that's a really good point, and there is different legislation in the different states, so you would just need to be mindful of that. It's really about what instruction has the owner provided you? Have they asked that you hold the funds in trust? Do they want it released? If you are going to allocate it to rent and then hold funds back, it's still going to account on that financial report. So if you didn't want to include it, you would have to hold it in the tenant deposit before allocating it to rent, which would then transfer it into the owner's account. So a couple of things to consider there. Yeah.
Thanks, Nicole. Keep the questions coming also from YouTube as well. Megan Wilson's asked, why lunchtime? How about during work hours so PMs can actually have a well-deserved lunch break? What time would you guys like to see us, or what time works best for you? How about comment, and we'll check out your comments. That's about all I can see for now, guys. So keep the questions
I think Nicole
coming.
is going to hang around for the rest of the session in case there's any more questions that come up.
Absolutely. And I do also have a checklist as well. So if anybody wants to reach out, I'm happy to send them through our end of financial year checklist that we use, if that helps you.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Maybe after the session, Nicole, just jump on your Facebook and put a comment.
Yeah, absolutely.
Reply to it.
Yep, cool. Sure. Thanks, guys.
Cool. Thanks again for joining us.
It's okay.
Thanks, Nicole. Bye-bye. Okay, with end of financial year out of the way, guys, I know you love new features. So let's jump in and show you what we've got going out in tonight's release. So we've got a brand new feature called ability to mark a property for relet, yes or no. Let me jump in and show you guys how it works. So the main reason behind this new feature is to handle those scenarios where, say, your tenant has given notice to vacate a property and you reach out to the owner and they say, look, do not relet the property. I'm moving into it. My sister's moving into it. Might be getting renovations done at the property. There's lots and lots of reasons why an owner would say to not relet the property. So I'm going to jump in and pop in a vacate date for my tenant. And at the point in time where you know that the owner has said, no, do not relet the property, you see we've got this new relet yes line here. All we're going to do is click on the pencil, And from here, we can set the status to Relet no, and we can pop in a reason. So what's a good one, Christina? Maybe
owner moving in.
Renovating.
Oh, whatever.
Kitchen. So save that, and you'll notice that the status is updated to no, and we've got that little comment there as well. So anyone that's opening up the property will be able to see the reason as to why you're not reletting it. And I know how much you guys love our activity logs and logging as much as we can. So check this out. Whenever someone changes the status or adds a comment, we've got that logged here for you. So relet status changed to no with a reason of renovating the kitchen. So that's sort of the first half of the feature. The second half, which I think you guys are going to like a little bit more, is over on our dashboard. At the moment, this would give me a massive anxiety attack. 36% is my vacancy rate. So previously, we didn't have a way to mark those properties as not for relet. But what we've done now is click on the tile and we're taken to our vacancies tab. So this is all of the properties that I've got in my portfolio and the tenants that have a move out date. You notice we've got a new relet column, and that property that I just marked as relet no is sitting there for 100 Phillip Street. We've got a new filter option as well. So if you just want to see all of your properties, so exclude the ones that are not for relet, you can apply that filter and it just removes the properties that you're not reletting. Something else that I wanted to show you was quickly back on that dashboard, that 36%. We want this figure to be as accurate as possible for our reporting. So check this out. If I open up a couple of my tenants, and let's just imagine all of these owners have said no, do not relet. And moving in. And let's just do one more. Let's say owner selling the property. So once I've changed the status for those properties to no, back on my dashboard now, 18%. So it's just a more accurate figure when it comes to your vacancy. So the ones that are marked as relet no, once they're vacant, it's going to come off your vacancies. Last up, we've also added it to your reports. I know how much you guys love having as much info as possible on your reports. So check this out. If I open up my vacancies report, we've got that new relet column just over on the right-hand side. And from here, you can sort and you can include or exclude just by using the filters available in the three.
That's awesome. It gives your management team as well so much more visibility in terms of, you know, how the next quarter or whatnot is looking like as well, especially with high vacancy. So I know the leadership teams and the management teams will also love this feature too.
And I mean, I know property managers have to face so many crazy situations. You want to be able to handle absolutely anything that comes up. So it's just another way. Cool. So that is the ability to mark a property for relet, yes or no. Any questions or comments, please pop it down in the comment section below. And I think, Christina, you're actually up next, aren't you? You're going to take us through a new feature that we've been working on. It's really close to being released for beta testers. Just before Christina takes you through it, if you are interested in beta testing out this new feature, please just head to that help button in the bottom left of PropertyMe. Email support and just say, hey, I'd like to be included in the beta program for, what's it called, Christina? Print bills?
Oh, printed bill attachments with owner statements. It's a mouthful, that one.
Cool. Okay, Christina, you ready to take everyone through?
Yes, absolutely. So guys, this is part of your top 20 feature requests. It does come up. So we are listening to your feature requests and comments. So please keep them coming. As Peter said, it's available for beta testing only. So we'd love you to join and have a little play. And so let's just jump in. I'm going to show you actually what it looks like. So first of all, we can turn this new feature on in the settings. We've got the option here to include bills when printed owner statements. So that means for the owners that you have that want their statement and a copy of the bill printed, PropertyMe will now consolidate all of those bills with a statement. So I'm just going to quickly do a little disbursement and show you what it looks like in the outbox now. So jumping into the outbox and statements, I now have the ability to generate PDF, which what that will do is will consolidate the bills with the printed statements as well. So after that's consolidated, I can preview, look at that, all on one preview. Owners will love that, and you can go ahead and download and print from there. This is a great feature because we know that you still have owners that love the emailed copy statements, and they also need a printed copy statement along with all the attachments as well. Peter, did you ever have those owners that wanted definitely a printed copy in this? So this will save you guys so much time in terms of collating and keeping the statements aside and things like that. It's also yes, and we also used to have there was a special owner that lived on in the street that I used to actually hand deliver their statement as well, and the bills all needed to be in line with the statement too. So we know there's owners out there like this. This will save you a lot of time. So if you're interested in testing this feature, please join the test program, send us a ticket, we'll pop you on the list, and just much easier for those owners. Obviously, it'd be nice if everybody was all electronic, but we know there's some old school owners out there that certainly want both with their bills attached. So let us know what you think. Let's see if we've got any comments so far. Got a few. Hey, D. Martin said, love the Relet button. Let's have a look what else we have. Michael Anthony's just said, finally, accounts don't have to reprint bills manually. Yay.
Yes, I can see how this is going to benefit a lot of users out there.
Ben has commented, can the owners see the Relet comment on their portal, or is it internal only? Good question, Ben.
Just internal only for the moment.
Nice. Keep the questions coming, guys.
Quite a bit of love coming through. Any more awesome end of financial year questions for Nicole? None that I can
Here's your chance, guys.
Yeah. Everyone's already done everything. They're all ready to go. You watch. They did it all last month.
It's one extra piece of paper, right? That's what they say. All right, keep the questions coming. I actually have one more thing from me. We will be hosting weekly live training sessions with trainer Scott in the lead up for end of financial year. So every Wednesday between 12 and 1 o'clock, we're going to have a live session which will focus on preparing for end of financial year, tips and tricks, and how it actually all looks in PropertyMe. So registration details will be posted. Take the opportunity. We're going to run it every Wednesday starting from the 8th of June up until the 29th of June. So look out for that. That's going to be really good.
Yeah, it's the whole end-to-end process. And I mean, all of our end of financial year knowledge base articles, video tutorials, they're all there in the knowledge base, all ready to go all year round.
Yep.
So jump in.
The great thing with the live sessions as well is that you get to have the opportunity to ask Trainer Scott questions, which is great. Yep. So please take advantage of that, guys.
Yeah. And I reckon we probably might sneak in one more lunch and learn for next month.
Oh, next month will have to be a big one.
Yeah, just to cover everything, all things end of financial year. So cool.
All right, let's see if we've got any more questions. Not just yet. Not just yet. Actually, someone's asked about your checklist, Nicole.
Yeah, I'll put a link on the chat a little bit later on the page, and you can just shoot me an email and I'll send it off to you.
Awesome.
Nice.
Brilliant. Well, guys, I think that's all we have time for today. Thanks so much for attending. Just a little quick recap from Nicole. I had adjustments, get rid of any age adjustments in your rec. I'm not sure if you mentioned this one, but I'm a big stickler for those 1 cent balances. You know, those tenants that move out with a couple of cents, and clean them up, journal them away, give the tenants their money back, all that sort of stuff, get them down. Communication preferences and message templates. Cool.
Big one.
And apart from that, we've got that release going out tonight with the new Relet yes, no feature. You'll see that green banner tomorrow morning when you guys come in. Click on the link. You'll be taken to the release notes and it will explain exactly how it works. And lastly, it was just the beta testing for the new printed bills with owner statements. If you want to get in touch, because you want to be a part of that, yeah, you want to be a part of the beta testing, just head to help, contact support, and let them know that you're interested in beta testing, and then I'll reach out once it's ready.
Awesome.
Brilliant. Oh, good. Thanks so much, everyone. We will see you again next month for one final one before end of financial year.
Thanks, Peter. Thanks heaps, Nicole.
Thanks, everyone.
See you. Oh, you're welcome.
Thanks, Nicole.
Bye.
Bye, guys.